NFTs have absolutely exploded over the past year. We've seen insane stories of people making millions of dollars launching NFTs from the comfort of their own homes. But the hardest part about making an NFT is not the coding. It's creating an original artwork. Because in order for you to make a compelling NFT, then you have to create original artwork. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to do that easily with artificial intelligence. You'll learn how to generate the artwork with AI, upload it to IPFS, add it to an NFT smart contract, and publish it live to a blockchain. So don't worry, you don't have to be like an advanced coder to follow along with this. This is going to be pretty easy on the grand scheme of things. I'm going to show you how to do all this step by step. So if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, then smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to know how to master blockchain step by step from start to finish, then head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. So NFTs have absolutely exploded over the past year, and we've seen tons of prominent NFT collections come onto the scene like Bored Ape Yacht Club and CryptoPunks and others who have set the format for how people consume NFTs primarily, which is essentially to like launch an NFT, hold this big drop event, mint the NFTs from scratch, and do this oftentimes with generative artwork, okay? Where basically you can see different NFTs inside a collection that all look really similar and they all have different characteristics. And you're generating those whenever you go to the smart contract and create them on the NFT minting website, okay? So, you can create a generative NFT art like this by, hiring an artist or being an artist yourself and actually going in and creating the individual layers for each part of these NFTs. And then, having a script spit all that stuff out and then put it into your smart contracts, people can mint them, all right? Or you can take a different approach, which is to use artificial intelligence, which completely bypasses, the need to, be a designer or use a designer, and it makes launching an NFT really easy. So you can actually see examples of different AI-generated paintings here on this AI art gallery website, because artificial intelligence has a pretty cool ability to generate artwork that's pleasing to the eye that you can use for an NFT collection, and it makes this a lot easier. And we're actually seeing different NFT collections gain popularity that are using this type of stuff. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this tutorial step by step. But first, let me talk about sort of the high-level overview of what we're going to create so that you can see how all this stuff fits together. So let's look at a high-level architecture of how an NFT works in the first place. So, an NFT is a digitally scarce item that lives on a blockchain. And so basically you need a smart contract for your NFT. All right. And that smart contract basically is responsible for the entire NFT collection. And then you have wallets down here, which are the individual people that, show up to your website and click that mint button with their MetaMask wallet. And then they, receive NFTs. Okay. So you can see these different wallets down here. The important thing to note here is that this smart contract for the NFT, it governs the entire NFT collection. It's responsible for, determining who owns which NFT. All right. And it also is responsible for, transferring NFTs anytime somebody sends it to a different wallet or sells it on an exchange or a website like OpenSea, for example. Okay. So that's important. You don't put multiple NFT smart contracts out there for each image out there. It governs who holds each NFT, and it also keeps track of the NFT images. Okay, so let's talk about those, because we're gonna launch an entire NFT in this tutorial, but we're gonna look at the images here in a second. We're gonna use the smart contracts and the images, but where do the images go? So the images do not live on a blockchain because it's way too expensive to put images on a blockchain. It's also just not scalable. Okay. So basically, you put your images somewhere else called IPFS. So you can see, I'm going to kind of draw an imaginary line here. Everything over here is in the blockchain, and this is in a different place. So the blockchain, we're going to use Ethereum in this example. Ethereum's a predominant blockchain where people are launching, high value NFTs. You can also follow these exact same instructions for a different EVM compatible chain like, Avalanche or something like that, or Polygon maybe. But basically, the images are on IPFS. Here's where the smart contracts are. Here's the images are. The IPFS is the interplanetary file system. It works kind of like a blockchain, but it's different. Okay, it's basically a distributed computer, like a blockchain, where you can store files. And so that's where our images are going to go. We're going to put an image, right, for each NFT on IPFS, and then our smart contract is going to essentially keep track of where those images are on IPFS with a URL. Okay. So you're going to see all that in this tutorial, but I want to give you the high level overview. So step one is we're going to generate the NFT images with the artificial intelligence. Step two is we're going to upload them to IPFS so that we can add them to our smart contract. And then step three is we're going to create that smart contract with the NFT images linked to it and then put it on a blockchain so that you can mint them and put them directly in your wallet. Now let's talk about how we're going to use artificial intelligence to create these images. Okay. So you can see in my diagram here that I have this thing labeled AI in the middle. But what is that? That's kind of a nebulous topic. What is an AI? Well, in this case, we're going to use something called a machine learning model. Okay. So basically, this is just an advanced program that is an AI. Okay. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to feed this machine learning model some words. You can see these are example words here, cat, dog, mouse. You can basically just come up with a sentence and the AI is actually going to interpret like what those words mean and spit out images that it thinks represents those words. Okay. And so you're going to feed it some words and then that's going to be the input and the output is going to be, image one, image two, image three that we can use, for the NFTs themselves. And so that's exactly what we're going to do here in this next step. But let me talk about some choices I've made in this video. So basically, I want to focus on this process being as easy as possible. Okay. So you could do this step right here with an AI multiple different ways. I'm going to focus on easy. All right. So let me kind of talk about the options. You could substitute one of the methods in this video if you want to. So basically, I'm going to do this easily with an application. All right. It's going to require me to pay a little bit of money. We're talking like $10, like nothing crazy, especially if you're wanting to launch a real NFT. It's going to make it easier. It's going to be faster. It's going to be less complicated because you don't have to do a bunch of coding. All right. If you want to do this completely for free, you can definitely use Google Colab. Okay. You can check out the AI Whisperers tutorial on this. It's a really good job. If you're like super into AI and you want to go down that rabbit hole more, you can definitely do that, but this is going to show you how to easily do it really quickly with a few clicks inside of an application, and then basically just taking that, putting the images on IPFS, and then taking a smart contract off the shelf and putting it directly on the blockchain. All this can be done really fast, and that's what I'm going to focus on this video. I'm going to use this Snowpixel app to generate the images for this NFT with AI. So you can head over to snowpixel.app to follow along with this. So basically what we're going to do here is just type in some words and then a machine learning algorithm is just going to interpret those words and spit out artwork. So it's pretty cool. There's lots of cool features here. You can generate similar images, get variations. You're going to own the copyrights and you can look for like multiple suggestions. Okay. So like I was saying, I'd rather just pay a little bit of money to make this process so much easier, especially when you own the copyrights and all that type of stuff. Okay. You can get started for as little as $10. This is not a sponsored video or anything like this. I'm just trying to save some time. Again, you can check out those other resources if you want to do this totally for free, or you can just use the images in the tutorial to avoid paying, and then you can just see how this works, okay? Once you've logged in, you're going to see this dashboard here. So make sure you go through the registration steps. You'll have to give it your email address, confirm your account, all that type of stuff. But once you go through those steps, you're going to see this page here. And so this is where you enter the words to generate your NFT. So you can see this lost in a blizzard. So what you're going to do is you're going to type in a bunch of different words, and then the machine learning model or the AI is going to interpret those words and then, come up with some images. The crazier the words that you put in here, the better. Okay. Lost in a blizzard is kind of short. I mean, you could say something like desert, island, pinata, party, with, ultimate crayon wordsmith or something. Like, I'm literally just making this up off the top of my head. And the crazier the combinations you get, it's going to try to describe that and then actually turn it into an image that the AI thinks represents the words that you put in here. So the crazier the associations that you put into the sentence, the better. You can kind of play around with it and see what it is. Now, that being said, you do have to buy some credits in order to get this to work. So, you're going to have to pay every time you try this, but I would just try that. Okay, you can get started for as little as $10. Again, I just wanted to save some time and do it faster this way. And now it's going to take some time. So once you put in your phrase here, it's going to take about 30 minutes before your artwork is generated. So make sure you go here. All right, you can pay. You need to buy some credits. You can click buy credits. Okay, you can actually buy them with credit cards or crypto. So if you don't like giving somebody your credit card and you got some crypto in your wallet, you can just do that. And then you can, once you've entered your words, you can, select a model, whatever model you want it to be based on emojis, artistic or drafts, structured creative, and then click generate and wait, and it will email you whenever it's finished. All right. So once you've generated your images, definitely save those on your computer. Okay. You can go inside Snowpixel and just download them individually and put them in a folder. I'm going to show you where to do that in a second. Okay. So, we've used this machine learning model to generate the output. All right. And then we're going to use these. And now what we're going to do is take those images and put them on IPFS. Okay. We're going to do that first because then we're going to take the link to those images on IPFS and put them inside the NFT collection smart contract. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and download all the pieces that we need to do this from GitHub. Okay. So we're not going to do a bunch of advanced coding on our computer. So if you're a total beginner or something like that and you don't want to use the command line, you don't have to. You could just download the code like this with a zip file and then open it. But I'm going to clone it with Git. Okay, so if you're not super comfortable with Git, like I said, you can just download it with that download link. But if you're going to use Git like me, you can copy the URL here and do Git clone and then paste in the URL. All right, I've already done that, so it's going to give me an error. But when you do it for the first time, you should see it, successfully. So now I'm going to enter into that newly created directory like this. I'll say CD AI generated images or CD AI generated NFT collection. And now I'm going to go ahead and open this with Sublime Text. Okay, this is my text editor of choice. You can use whatever text editor you'd like. So inside of here, you can see all the code for this, and there's a lot of stuff in here if you want to, build this out as a developer and make it a more advanced project. You've got that. But if you just want to launch an NFT really fast, we can do everything directly inside your browser. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So inside of here, we have the images. So if you look at the metadata, all right, you can look at the AI generated images. So metadata folder, AI generated images. You can see some of the images from Snowpixel inside of here already. So if you didn't want to generate images from Snowpixel and just see how it works, you could just use these images in the project. That's totally fine. Okay. Or if you want to, go through the AI image generation, you can add your own images inside of here. Just replace whatever's inside this project, with your own images. Okay. So I'll show you how to do that right now. All right. So what you want to do is open up your project inside of a folder on your computer. Whatever. If you're using Mac OS, you can use Finder. If you're using a different operating system, whatever your equivalent is. All right. But basically, I just want to see a user interface for this. So we can browse through this and look at some metadata. We can see the AI generated images. So what you want to do is basically just put all your images that you generated from Snowpixel. Again, you can just use the ones that are in the app if you just want to play around with this, and then put them inside this folder, and you want to number them. So it's important that you follow this numbering scheme. So if you have 10 images, you just number it 1 through 10, followed by .png. All right. So, here's our images from Snowpixel. You can replace your own images from Snowpixel in here. Just put them inside this folder. You can clear all these out. Just make sure you follow this numbering scheme because that's really important. Okay. So now what we want to do is actually take these images and put them on IPFS. So we're going to use something called Pinata Cloud for this. So this is a website that lets us, upload NFT metadata directly to IPFS. There's multiple ways to access IPFS. You could run an IPFS node on your computer. You could use, an RPC, not RPC, but like a IPFS link inside, your app and run a script. I'm just going to make it really easy. So you can use Pinata, try it for free. Just create a free account and go through the steps. And then once you've done that, you'll see your dashboard like this. And what this is going to let you do is basically upload all your images to IPFS. Okay. So now let me tell you something that's really important. This is going to be a two-step process. So remember when I was talking about the NFT collection smart contract talks to, it points to your images somewhere else. Essentially what happens is we're going to put our images on IPFS. And then the NFT collection smart contract is going to talk to each of these images, okay? Because we don't put images on a blockchain. But really what's happening is, your NFT collection is going to get a link to the image, but really it's going to get a link to the metadata. All right, and the metadata is just a file that has a bunch of other information, including the image link. So I'll show you an example of that right now. If you just go to the GitHub repository, all right, you can see an example of NFT metadata and what it looks like, just like this. So if you look at the GitHub repository, you can see these NFT right here. So if you just want to try this and launch an NFT without going through all the steps of the AI generation and upload to IPFS, you could just use these links for example purposes, okay? But let's just inspect one of these. I'm going to click on this one, and it'll take you to IPFS, and this is what the entire metadata looks like. So it has like the name of the NFT, and then here's a description, okay? But then here's the image URL. So like if you notice this, like this is an IPFS link. All right, but the link doesn't actually go to an image. It goes to all the metadata. This is a JSON file. JSON is just essentially a language that, lets us transport information in a very predictable way. These curly braces, right, and these brackets that are arrays, right, and these strings and colons and stuff. Basically, this just lets us transfer information around in a very predictable way. But inside of this metadata, we have the image. So it's a two-part process. If you look at that, then you can see the actual image on IPFS. This is like the link that is going to go to our NFT collection contract. So I showed you before, like here's the NFT collection contract, and it talks to each individual image. So it's a little more complicated than that. It talks to the metadata for each NFT, and then that metadata contains the image URL. But this line right here represents the link from our NFT collection to the metadata or the image. And you can see this is what the link looks like. Like this is exactly what we're going to put inside of our smart contract to fetch the metadata and like display the NFT on the page. We need to generate one of these, but it's going to be a two-step process. We need to upload all the images first to IPFS, all right? And then once we have the images, we're going to put the image URLs inside the metadata object, all right? And then we're going to take all the metadata to upload to IPFS. So two-step, we're going to upload the images first, and then we're going to upload the metadata. So let's start off with the images, all right? So go to Pinata Cloud, and I'm going to click Upload. Okay, so I'm going to click on an entire folder. And basically, I'm just going to take all the images. I'm going to select the entire folder from that project, okay? So I'm going to get my folder here and click on metadata, all right, and then click on the AI generated images. I'm going to select the entire folder and click upload. Okay, it's going to say your upload 10 files. Click upload. All right, you could just call it whatever you want to. AI generated NFT images. So you can just use the exact same folder name that's in your project if you want to. All right, so whenever that's done, you're going to see your images down here. Okay, you see the entire folder. And so you're going to see this CID right here. So what you can do is just copy this CID, all right, and then take it back into your project. I'm going to show you how to update it. So basically, that's going to be like the folder name on IPFS. See this hash, okay? So if you look at your README file, right, your README's got the links to the existing NFTs. Like again, you can just use this if you want to. What you want to do is basically take this. This is the folder name, and then just replace your CID with this, and you can actually access your IPFS image link by just replacing these, okay? Assuming that you kept the name, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with the .png suffix like I explained in the previous step. So that's what your NFT images should look like, all right? So basically, we can take these, and then you can go to your browser and just paste it in just to make sure it worked. And you can see, paste an entire IPFS URL once you've replaced your CID, which is like the folder name here. And then just look at the first image. There it is. You can look at it for, image 2, so on and so forth. Okay, it's take a second to render here, but, you can just keep cycling up here and look at image number 3. All right, et cetera, et cetera. All right, you can do that through your entire collection just to make sure it worked. And so now what you want to do, we've got the images on IPFS. So now what we want to do is actually create the rest of the metadata, because again, that's what I was saying a second ago. This is a two-step process. We don't just point to the images directly, we point to the metadata that has the image URL inside of it. Okay, we saw an example of that a second ago, which is this right here. Okay, so we want to build a metadata object look like this with the actual IPFS URL inside of it here. Okay, so what you want to do is go through the metadata here. And basically, I'm just going to copy all these. All right. And then I'm going to go manually update the metadata. So you're going to want to do this inside the NFT JSON files. It's going to be the metadata. So for the first one, you want to take the image. All right. And then, replace it. Okay. And then you want to, make sure this is the correct CID. Make sure it's 1 corresponding to the file name, 1 for 1, and then this is where you want to actually probably do some manual entry because you might have a different NFT collection. Ours, we're just going to call this one Gorilla 1 and the description black and yellow Gorilla 1. Okay. But based on the words that you enter for the AI, you want to generate your own unique description here. Okay. And we just put in some, traits here like strength, speed, jump, intelligence, boost number, all that stuff. And, you can make up whatever traits you want to put inside of here. These will show up on OpenSea. So just so you know that. We can see that later, but yeah, you want to do that and repeat this process for each file, 1 through 10, update the image URL with the correct number, give it a name, give it the metadata that you want, and then move on to the next step. All right. So once you finish that, we're going to go back to Pinata Cloud and upload all this metadata to IPFS. Okay. So go back here, click upload. All right. Click an entire folder and then select the folder you want to do. And so what we're going to do is actually, select the metadata folder and go up 1 level. All right. Pull this back on my screen here. And, we're going to click the the NFT JSON files. Okay. And I'm just going to select this entire folder, click upload. All right. And then we can just call it AI generated NFT JSON, just whatever you want to is fine. Just so that you know what it is whenever you look at it, and you'll see your thing here. Okay. So now what you want to do is basically copy the CID and go back to your README file here. And you can see the same type of thing. I'm just going to replace this. In the previous section, I did this with the image URLs, but this is going to show you how to replace the image metadata. Okay. So now, if you copy all these, we've finalized it for the image metadata. And you can see if you just copy this, let's just do it for image number 2. You can put it in your browser. And let's just replace this. And you should see the JSON spit out for the entire NFT. So I realized I made a mistake here. You need to make this a .json suffix. I just replaced the images. I just made a stupid mistake. I'm going to leave the mistake in the video because sometimes, hey, it's good to see what it's like to actually code. You run into problems, you learn how to fix them. So yeah, basically make sure this is all JSON after you just uploaded it. Make sure this is the actual directory CID for that. And now you can copy and paste this and then put it back in your browser and, see the JSON right here. Okay. All right. So now that we've got the NFTs, at least the images and the metadata on IPFS, let's go ahead and do this. Let's put the NFT smart contract on the blockchain and, point it to each of these images. Okay. So we've got this part done. Now we're going to do this part. So let's go ahead and go to our project, and you're going to see the source code for the smart contract. You can look at contracts, AI NFT collection. Okay. So if you're, you love to do things from the command line and, with your own developer tools, you can compile a smart contract, put on the blockchain directly with this hard hat project, or you can do it the easy way, the fast way. If you're not a super advanced coder or you just want to get it done quick, you can look at this flattened contract that we've already pre-compiled, or not pre-compiled, but flattened, I should say, and put together with all the dependencies inside of the same smart contract, okay, that you can just copy and paste. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to go to remix.ethereum.org. All right, so this is an online IDE. So we're going to do most of this stuff in our browser, okay. Basically, this lets you write Solidity smart contracts, publish them to a blockchain. So basically, we're going to need the contracts. We're going to go here. We're going to create a new file right here. And we're going to call this, AI NFT collection.sol. And we're going to just paste all this stuff in here. Okay. So what we're going to do is this is going to give us an ERC721 token, which is just the standard that we use for creating NFT smart contracts. Okay. And we just inherit from another ERC721 contract, and that's what all this stuff is up here. So don't even worry about all this code. You don't really need to understand it. to just get this thing live on the network. Basically, this is just the configuration for yours. So you're just going to give it a name and a symbol. Okay, you can name it whatever you want to. You can call it Gorillas or whatever your AI NFT collection is. You can rename the contract here. We just call it AI NFT collection, and the symbol is AI NFT. Do whatever you want to. Okay. But it's going to have this mint function on it. Okay, so we're going to start with 0 NFTs, and we're going to mint them manually with the IPFS URLs. Okay, and that's going to create the NFTs, and then you can send them around to whatever account that you want to. So that's what we're going to do here, and we're going to go to compile. This is the next step. We're going to choose Solidity version 0.8.7. I think that's going to work. Let's just give it a try. Click compile, and it worked. And so now we're going to actually deploy it to a test network. All right. So I'm going to go to this step. So let me explain that really quickly. Ethereum, we're going to use the Ethereum blockchain for this example. This is a Solidity smart contract, so you can deploy it to any EVM compatible chain like Polygon, Avalanche, whatever, right? But for now, we're just going to do it to an Ethereum test network. It's not going to cost you any money. We're going to do it totally for free. Ethereum supports test environments where you don't have to spend any real cryptocurrency just to test your applications out. So in order to do this, you need a couple things. You need a MetaMask wallet installed. Okay. So make sure you install MetaMask. You can look on the Google Chrome Web Store. And then you need to change it to the Rinky test network. So you can see the different test networks down here. I'm going to select Rinky test network. All right. And then you need some test Ether in your deposit. So this is just fake cryptocurrency that you can get for free. All right, I'm going to show you how to get some. So copy your account address here. Just click copy to clipboard. And then go to faucets.chain.link. All right, /Rinky. So this is a website where you can just request cryptocurrency for free. It's fake cryptocurrency on the specific network. So you can just click Rinky network. You can get your wallet address inside of here. Okay. I'm going to actually click this one. Okay. And then you can request some cryptocurrency here to say, I'm not a robot. All right. And then send the request, and you'll see this, confirm in like about a minute or so. And you'll see your balance change here. So mine just finished. All right. I got my Ether. I also got some Link tokens. So you should be ready to go. So now I'm going to go back to Remix. Now I have a MetaMask wallet installed, and I have some Ether in it, so I can pay the gas fees to put the contract on the network and mint the NFTs. And I can now select Web3 provider. Okay. Click OK. What this is going to do is going to point Remix to the Rinky test network that we just connected to, and it's going to connect our MetaMask account. So let me try that again. Inject a Web3 provider. All right. So it looks like we had an error. I'm not sure why that's not working here. Try this again. All right, we're connected here. Rinky test network. Let's try injected Web3 provider. My fault, everybody. So yeah, there we go. Now, Rinky test network. Here's the account. You can see our account balance inside of here. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and select our AI NFT collection here and click deploy. And you'll see the confirmation pop up here on MetaMask. Here's how much it's going to cost to deploy the contract to the network. So we've got enough crypto in our wallet to pay for that. It's no problem. All right, click confirm, and then click view on Etherscan. And you'll see this pending. And when it's finished, you'll see your contract actually created. All right, wait for this to finish. And whenever it does, all right, it should be done. Let's try it. Because we just saw the confirmation inside of the Remix. So it's confirmed, but Etherscan's still catching up. It's indexing. The test network's index is slower than the mainnet. So if you look at this, you pull it down, and you'll see all the functions that are on the smart contract itself. So you can see all the behavior for the NFT, like approving the NFTs to be sold in a marketplace, minting the NFT. This is what we're going to do to create NFT images from scratch. Transfer from, which is lets you send NFT different wallets. You can get balance of approved. I'm not going to go over every single function in this tutorial, but I'm going to show you how to create the NFTs from scratch. Okay. So what we're going to do is take the URIs that we generated. Okay. And actually, I'm just going to show you the transaction confirmation here. All right. I'm not sure why it takes so long to confirm it here. It's working because I can see it in Remix, but what whenever that's finished, you should see the test network actually index it. So what I'm going to do is go back and look at the GitHub repository here and see the my images. All right, so you take your Pinata images you generated, or you can just use these for practice if you didn't want to go through the AI generation steps. And then you're going to actually mint this. So we're going to put in the string and then click transact and then pay for the gas fee. So this is going to be minting our first NFT. And then boom, there we go. All right, so this will take a second to confirm, just like we saw a minute ago. But yeah, it's so we can see Remix pick up the status faster. We can see that it was confirmed. All right. So what you're going to do is basically, we've now successfully minted our first NFT. So you could check what your balance is just to confirm that took place. Copy it, and then go to balance of, paste in the owner. All right, and then click call, and you'll see it's 1. Okay. So we know that it actually worked because the blockchain's aware of it. We can mint another one. All right, we could go here and do NFT number 2, and paste in this. Make sure you get it right, and then click confirm, and you'll see the status here down in Remix. You can view the transaction on Etherscan. They're taking for a while to populate. All right, it's still indexing, right? So you can see the block it was included in. That's what I was saying before. It'll get included in blocks, but the test networks take longer to index than the main Etherscan page. I have a feeling it's just got to do with system cost. Like, they don't want to spend all this money, making sure that test networks run faster than the main net. That's just my guess, but they could have a different reason. I don't know. Anyways, but if you go back to Remix, you can see that basically it's going to show you the status faster. And so if I do balance of again, I should expect this to be 2 because now I have 2 NFTs, and that will confirm that it took place in the blockchain. So yeah, now it's 2. All right, so you're going to repeat this process for however NFTs you want to generate. If you generated 10, you want to do this 10 times, okay? But now what I'm going to do is look at the next step. So now I'm going to show you how to actually view your NFTs on OpenSea. Okay, so you can just copy your smart contract address here from Remix. You may not see it on Rinky just yet, because again, it takes a long time to index. But you can just copy it here from Remix, and then you can go to OpenSea and then just paste in your address here, and you're going to see your collection. Okay. And it doesn't have an image right now. You can go through the steps of doing all that stuff. But now I can actually see both the NFTs that were minted, like Gorilla 1 and Gorilla 2. Okay, so if I click on this, we can see the properties, and you can see the, we can see the metadata here. We can see the levels, intelligence jump. We had all this in our JSON file. You can see the image, you can see the boosts, and you can, see all the details here. All right, so that's how easy it is to create your own NFT artwork with artificial intelligence. And then just with a few clicks of a button, launch your own NFT live to a blockchain. Again, you could easily do this with inside an afternoon. So whenever you finish your NFT, I want to see it. So make sure that you ping me on Twitter. All right, tag me, show me the NFT that you've launched with this AI generator. Definitely want to see that. So as always, smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. That really helps these videos out so that more people can learn about blockchain. All right. And if you're as fast at this technology as I am, you want to get your hands dirty, how can you get started today? Well, you can definitely check out more of my free tutorials on my YouTube homepage. They're like Udemy courses, but they're totally free. And if you like those and you want to take the next step, or hey, maybe you want to take a master shortcut entirely, I can show you how to become a blockchain master step-by-step start to finish over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. You don't have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real-world blockchain developers in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. And until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.